before we really get into it, I got something serious I want to talk to y'all about. I'm gonna put the link in the bio. And everybody to go and donate whatever they can to Franklin Saint's GoFundMe. We have a goal of, I believe, $73 million. And if we could just get to $73 million, I think he'll be all right. No, welcome to the newest episode of the EaZy Review. Before we really get into this fucking episode and just an overall review of the series, don't forget to leave a like. Don't forget to leave a comment. Don't forget to leave a subscription. And turn on your notifications. Turn on your notifications. I need y'all to turn on y'all notifications, man. But with that being said, let's get straight to it. So the episode starts off with a close-up of Franklin drinking. Y'all know Franklin never used to drink. Why? Because he didn't want to be shit like his dad. And it's funny because everybody ends up being just like their parents, regardless of how much you may or may not have disliked them. It just goes to show you how much of them is inside of you. You know what I mean? You might have different reasonings behind it in your head and all this type of stuff, but your actions and the way you approach situations always end up reflecting your parents, regardless of whether or not they're around you a lot or not. Nonetheless, his ass started drinking, and let's just say it went straight downhill. I mean, this whole episode was just like a motherfucking crash and burn the whole time. It was some of the most difficult shit to watch. I feel like I was watching a family member fall apart right in front of my eyes. Like it was hard to watch. Like, this nigga's, bro, Damson Idris is the name of the actor. He's a real fucking person who has millions of dollars. He is not actually living like this. And I'm actually sitting here stressed out for this nigga, man. I'm watching this nigga just throw his life away the whole episode, and I'm just like. So while he's at the bar, the CIA calls, and basically Franklin's last little bit of leverage is the KGB dude, and basically the nigga from the KGB, Franklin got to give him up so that Franklin don't end up in jail himself. So he has to give up the nigga from the KGB, and all of his leverage at that point is pretty much gone. So on Franklin's self-destruction mission, he stops at the projects, right? Mind you, Leon has already gave this nigga $500,000 in the fucking 80s. So I wasn't born in the 80s, and I'm no money conversionist or whatever that shit's called. I'm pretty sure $500,000 in the 80s, it's gotta be equivalent to at least a M today. At least a M today. At least, at minimum. Right? So he already gave this nigga Franklin a shit ton of money, right? He go to talk to Leon. Ask Leon about how much money he got. Boom. I don't think he finna ask him for another $500K. You know what I'm saying? Something to help get the ball rolling. Leon even say $5 million or $3 million. He say 1 or 2. Could ask for all of it. I'm like, hold on, Franklin, you're tripping, right? So then Leon says like, hey, bro, I can't do that. I don't know what the fuck Franklin thought. Franklin thought he was finna strong arm Leon in that motherfucker. Like, you're not in Leon hood. Like, everybody there, you're not finna pull a fast one on Leon. You feel me? And Leon asked him like, why do you think your mama didn't want you to have this money? Now, that was my only problem with what he said. I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm not giving Franklin that shit neither. Especially, then he tried to say, I'm the reason why y'all got all this shit. So you can't, that works in certain scenarios and with certain people. With Leon and all, you can't try to pull that stunt on him because he's not in the wrong. You feel me? So, people kept trying to say, oh, Sissy was looking out for him. Sissy was trying to save him. What the fuck did she save? You feel me? Like, I damn near rather just seeing Franklin, see, it's one thing if he would have crashed and burned on his own decision making. Like, he decided to do what he needed to do to try to get that money back. You need to let him crash and burn by that decision. You took that decision basically out of his hands, and it kind of like imploded his life. I think that's also what fucked him up more. Like, it wasn't a decision it wasn't his decision that caused all of that. Like it was somebody else's once again. Another interesting thing is every scene Franklin has a bottle in his hand after never drinking. It just goes to show you like where he's at. He's reached his breaking point. Everybody has a breaking point. Leon tell Franklin, it's blood money. If I could give it all back, I would. Franklin say, well then give it back, nigga. Like, fuck you think I'm here for? What the fuck you think I'm here for, bro? I'm asking you for the fucking money. You gonna say if you give it back, nigga, give it back then. You know what I'm saying? Franklin was on one though, and I agree with Leon. I wouldn't give his ass that shit neither, bro. I didn't already get you $500K. You just came and asked for everything? Come on now, no. So then we get to the scene with Sissy. She's in court, and she pled guilty. You know, she's going to jail for the rest of her life. Franklin was there, walked out. Some dude was bothering him about some shit, which really, honestly, didn't even end up mattering, to be honest. So Franklin goes to talk to his mom at the jail, and she didn't say a goddamn word to his ass. She just looked at him the whole time. And Franklin was just like, why? Why would you do that? Why you couldn't just wait a few more seconds? Da 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 da. She didn't say a motherfucking word to his ass the whole scene. Then Franklin goes to his mom's house, and the black dude that was trying to buy the properties downtown came over and basically was just trying to talk business about the downtown properties. And Franklin realized that, oh nigga, I didn't say nothing about this, so it had to be V. And in my opinion, bro, V was doing what any logical person would do at the time. Franklin was crashing and burning at the time. He's not thinking. V was actually thinking, bro, that downtown property is probably over with. Like, if we want to stay afloat, something's gonna have to give, right? So Franklin's pride destroyed him this episode. Like, we just seen that shit. We just seen his pride. We seen his pride thrust him into a hole that, although a lot of other people are the reasons why he was fucked up, he put himself in that final grave. Like, he really dug his grave this episode. So he goes to wherever V is, and he tried to like chin-check V, basically like, don't you go behind my back, and da-da-da-da-da. He even choked V. He choked V. He sold all the smaller properties, and she's like, bro, like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, you fucked us, basically. She was using her brain. I knew once he choked her that she had one foot out the game, because honestly, that scene, I was scared as fuck. I didn't know what the fuck he was gonna do to her. You feel me? Like, I was nervous for V. Like, I was like, oh hell, Franklin, don't do no stupid shit like kill your baby mama. You feel me? That's what I'm thinking is about to happen. So Leon goes to see Sissy as well, and they have an actual conversation. And so she does talk to Leon, and she asks about Wanda. He tells her that Wanda is thinking about moving back to Ghana or whatever. And the moral of their conversation is she wants Leon to get the far as fuck away from this shit. She wants him to go to Africa with her. She also told him, I did like when she told him this. She said, Franklin was my biggest disappointment or some shit like that. And she said that you were my biggest surprise. Y'all gotta remember, at the beginning of the show, Leon was the negative influence. Leon was the bad guy in terms of like the friends, and like if you look at it from a parent's perspective, Leon was the one that you probably didn't want your kid around. You feel me? And Leon's character development in this show is crazy, and it really began once he killed Scully's daughter. So that was a powerful thing. He told her that he was gonna keep the shelter open and things like that. So shout out to Leon. Shout out to Leon. Only thing is though, he's still using the money from the drugs to keep the shelter open, but she didn't want Franklin. So then we get the scene where Franklin goes to the bank and he tries to withdraw his money, right? Bro, look at him like, your wife just came and got 800 band, like this not there no more. You feel me? And his Franklin world just stopped. And I like the way that they shoot this scene, because it's like, you know, when something like that happens, you feel like everything around you kind of stops. So as the camera pans, everybody in the background like fades away. It looked like he's the only person in the building. And I like how it kind of captures that moment. But that's when he really realized that he was fucked, right? V had took the money and ran off. And let me say this. I know everybody was like, oh, I knew V was going to do, bruh. I don't have a problem with V doing what she did at that point. You know what I'm saying? I don't feel like, because I don't feel, it had Franklin, I don't think she left because Franklin went broke. I think she left because of where Franklin personality and mentally was. You know what I mean? Like, she was hitting the fan. She was just trying to figure out what was next. You know, she was testing the properties, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And like, Franklin wasn't trying to do any of that. Like, she knew where that ship had sailed. That ship was sailed, and any logical person is getting themselves out of that situation. That's not her trying to finesse some shit. That was a consequence of Franklin's actions. That's how I feel. So Franklin goes back to the jail and talks to his mama and tries to get the mama to sign some papers for the house, right? She still ain't responding. Franklin's losing his mind. He was like, you ruined my life. Fuck you, bitch. Fuck you, bitch. He's getting carried out. And in my head, I'm like, I mean, fuck Sissy. Sissy didn't save shit, bro. Like, all she did was send this nigga down a probably even worse path. I mean, like, you know what I mean? But it was hard to watch. I'm like, oh, this shit is literally implode. Like, 6 seasons worth of Franklin Saint in this last 1 hour block is just, everything just poof. You know what I mean? Like, fuck. So I can't remember the dude's name, but whoever it is, that black dude that looked like fucking Donald Glover or Childish Gambino, he looked like Childish Gambino mixed with the dad with if any of y'all watch Homecoming, why I can't think of the main character name, I can see his name, but he looked like a mixture between Childish Gambino and the dad that died and fuck it. Anyways, he comes and he's trying to find V. You know, obviously Franklin says him to find V. He can't find V, right? And he also tells Franklin, I'm done working for you. But he does have one last thing, and of course it's an address, and whose fucking house is it? It's Peaches, right? So that's like his last glimpse of hope right here. He gets to Peaches' house. Peaches is a crackhead. Laid out, mind y'all, Peaches took $5 million. He took $5 million, right? So that's a lot of fucking money, right? And that's a lot of money to spend, especially at a time like this, right? But he's addicted to crack. Franklin gets him. He tells him, like, hey, I need this motherfucking money, da-da-da-da. Peaches try to pull on him. Franklin shoots, right? So now Franklin has to find this safe. Franklin finds the safe, and the safe is, of course, what? Locked. The safe is locked. So he has to figure out how to unlock the safe. He calls this, I guess it's like a locksmith or whatever it is, the name of a person that unlocks safes, a safe unlocker. He comes, his name is Miguel. Miguel comes and he's trying to open up the safe or whatever, and then all of a sudden this white crackhead walks in. And he's like, where's Peaches? And like, what the fuck are you doing? And Franklin's like, oh shit. So the dude takes off running, screaming. Franklin comes, shoots him. Boom. So now Miguel is scared as fuck. He's like, what the fuck? And Franklin walked back in the room. He's like, man, Miguel, I don't want to hurt you, bro. Just open this motherfucking safe. So Miguel finishes opening up the safe, and Franklin looks inside the safe for a second. And he's just looking, and he's like, and the camera doesn't show you inside the safe. It just shows Franklin's face. And I was like, oh boy, there ain't no motherfucking money in here. I thought it was gonna be nothing. It's $12,000, bro, which essentially is equivalent to nothing. Like, if you're looking for up to $5 million and all you gain is $12,000, bro, that's pretty much getting like $0. Like, this is not changing your position in life by any stretch. Like, you're still fucked. You know what I mean? So now Franklin kind of sees the writing on the wall, and Miguel's sitting there scared as hell. And Franklin tells Miguel, he says, what's your name? He says Miguel. Says Miguel what? Forgot what he said his last name is. He said, take the money. Go. And in my head, I don't know if y'all ever seen that movie, Joker, the movie The Joker. And the same thing happens in The Joker. Except the Joker actually lets the little small person, I'm not sure the actual word for small people. I don't want to offend nobody. But he lets him go. You feel me? Which is crazy, that's the Joker. So when I'm watching this, I'm thinking of that scene in my head immediately. But I knew Franklin wasn't going to let him go. He had to fire. He had the fire on him. Pop him. And that's the end of that scene. We see Louie for a quick second hiding at this farm while the feds are on her ass. So she's pretty much probably gonna be running for the rest of her life, if you ask me. And I think that's what that was kind of meant to show you. So now we get to the last and final and the most heartbreaking scene in the entire show. We get Leon with his wet ass Jerry curls, walking down the street, and he asks a group of kids. He says, "Hey, somebody living here?" Somebody was like, "Yeah, somebody, if that's what you call living." When he said that, I'm like, you feel me? Like, no. I already know what that means. Then they show the yard. The yard looks fucking crazy. Like, it looks like a piece of shit lives in there. So Leon goes, knocks on the door. It's an eviction notice on the door. Leon goes, knocks on the door. A fucked up Franklin comes to open the door. And you can just tell he's off his rocker. He's not nearly as sharp he is. He's a drunk, teeth fucked up, eyes red, house fucking filthy, shirt fucked up, holes in it, dirty. Ain't took a shower in days. And so they go for a walk and they just kind of have a conversation. And you can just see Leon's heart is broken. Franklin goes through a couple different things. He talks about V and that V did call, and she said she did have a son. And she said that she's gonna raise him somewhere nice, away from America, and have a nice life and break the generational curse or some shit like that. And she said you should have some solace in that. And she was like, some fucking solace. He did. Franklin was like, this is kind of funny, but it wasn't funny because he's a crackhead. Talking about some sexy chocolate nigga like me. I don't get him. I know that had to be rough for Leon, and the craziest part about it is, at this point, Franklin has to be no more than 24, 25-ish. You know what I mean? He's my age now. You know what I mean? Imagine living that type of life and ended up a fucking junkie at 25. You done been a millionaire working with the CIA. You done flew planes. Now you a junkie on Crenshaw. You feel me? Like, and imagine trying to explain that to a nigga. Like, imagine if he went up to them kids and was like, bro, y'all laughing at me, but I used to be this nigga. They're gonna charge it to this nigga being a crackhead. Nobody's ever gonna believe that you were this guy. And that's what's crazy. So they walk in and Leon asks him, basically, Leon, you can tell Leon's trying to come to help him or whatever. And they get to the corner store and Leon says, you know, I need like a little helping hand around and see if you want it or whatever. And when Franklin asked him for that money still, I said, oh, Franklin's gone for real, bro. He's gone for real. He go in there, he's a drunk. He gets him another drink, and they walk back to the house. And when they walk back to the house, the police is there, and basically the house is gone now. The police got there, it's over, right? So now Franklin is homeless. And this was the most powerful shit. This really got me. This part got me. When he looked at him and started crying and told Leon, he was like, you are my best fucking friend and I'm fucking proud of you. And started crying. I was like, and then he just turns around and walks away. And like, I used to put myself in the shoes of the people on the show. Leon probably never seen Franklin again. Like, just imagine that, like, that was your best friend. Like, you know how short. Franklin was the best of them all. Tried to go to college and all this type of shit. And I know Leon's gonna have a serious case of survivor's guilt. Man, and then the song they chose at the end, Pride by Kendrick Lamar. Like, it was just a perfect ending. Sad ass, realistic ass, but perfect ending for a show. Like, that shit had me all the next day just worried about Franklin, as if Franklin's a real fucking person. That's how you know it was good. But I gotta give my hats off to everybody that had something to do with Snowfall. I mean, all the characters: Teddy, Leon, Franklin, Sissy, even though I hate Sissy, Louis, Jerome, Man Boy, Scully. What's my big boy that used to be the shooter? Not Peaches, but the other one. Shout out Peaches too. I mean, everybody did a fucking magnificent job, and they made this show something super special, and it just gave me, that shit was just amazing. And it really hurt me that it was over. So that, with that being said, this will be the last EaZy review for Snowfall. We'll be back tomorrow with Power, and we'll be back with an EaZy 10K episode sometime within the next few days as well. So, y'all folks have a nice day. Shout out John Singleton too. I know he's looking down, happy as hell with it. Oh, I forgot to mention they did the Little Boys in the Hood shout out too. That was real dope. I like that. When Franklin and Leon was walking, that was real dope. Anyways though, man, y'all enjoy the rest of y'all day. I appreciate y'all tapping in with me. I'm out.